people going down left, right and centre. Still going, guys. Going through a real bad patch, if I'm totally honest. I'm cracked. Earlier this year, I accidentally entered an ultra-endurance race. I mean, it was done so casually. A quick message on Instagram, and boom, there it was, my name added to the start list. Now, as time went on, my entry seemed to be an increasingly bad idea. However, by that point, I'd mentioned it to Shimano, who thought it sounded great and wanted to make it happen, because with their GRX group set, this kind of thing is right up their street. So, I couldn't really back out anymore. And so it is that I'm less than 24 hours away from what is almost undoubtedly going to be the hardest thing I've ever attempted on a bike. 400 miles, 640 kilometres, self-supported on a mix of road and gravel. The clock will not stop until I reach the finish line, if I can reach the finish line. And if I'm completely honest, no matter which way I look at this, I cannot quite work out how I'm going to be able to finish. Anytime I got to the end of a 200-mile ride before this, I've been completely and utterly ruined, and it's not escaped my notice that that is only half of the distance here. Now, I am mildly terrified, but also incredibly excited about this. I've not been able to think of anything else for the last couple of weeks, almost literally. As you can see, I've got all the equipment I could possibly wish for. I could just probably do with a few last words of wisdom.
Hey, Si.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What are you up to?
Well, I've done something a bit stupid, if I'm honest, mate. I've entered a 400-mile unsupported bike race, and I honestly haven't got a clue what I'm going to do or how I'm going to finish it. So I thought maybe you could give me some tips.
I can confirm your concerns. It is a lot harder. It is next level hard. My top recommendation is to ride on map, not on data, because otherwise you're just going to stare at those numbers and you're going to be going, why can't I ride faster? I was recently told a brilliant line, which I tried to remember throughout GB Duro, which was, ultra endurance gravel races are never won at lunchtime. So when the sun is shining, you feel good. That's not the time that you win or lose. It's in the graveyard shift. It's when everyone's tired. So those first miles in the middle of the day, that's kind of the bit that will take care of itself. It's the grittier end when you're, sleep deprived and you're trying to push on through. That's what really sort of splits the field. The top of your decision-making matrix is, I'm going to do this safely. I'm going to get through without having a crash or an injury. And then below that, I am going to finish. And then realize that there's points in a 400-miler you're just not going to be in a happy place. But that's not a reason not to finish.
What I'm most nervous about is I'll actually see what I'm made of in this. All those times when I've watched you doing stuff, and Hank recently, and Jenny, of course, and then now I'm actually going to see whether I can do it.
You've got this, buddy. You've got it. Remember, top of the list, stay safe. Middle, you will finish. Right at the bottom is try and have some fun along the way. But first and foremost, stay safe and get to the end.
Great stuff. Thanks, Mark, as always, mate. The race further east is the brainchild of Camille McMillan, a photographer, a cyclist, and a part-time sadist. The route comes from former Transcontinental winner Josh Ibbott, himself also a sadist and a masochist too, because he's racing this event as well. Now, it starts near Cambridge, a few miles north of London, here in the UK, and then carves its tortuous 400-mile line around much of East Anglia, touching the North Norfolk coast, and then back to the starting point. Camille was keen to stress that this is a relaxed, grassroots event. The race start is in a wood, and you're not allowed to drive there. There we go, pre-race accommodation sorted. I'm not going to take this tent with me. I just didn't fancy bivvying out the night before a 400-mile bike ride. But sleep is a really good point, actually. Tomorrow, the fast riders won't. Basically, it will just be a 30-hour bike ride. just. The question is, do I feel confident enough putting myself in that bracket? Because if I don't, that's going to have implications about what I have to take, a sleeping bag, a bivvy bag, and so forth. The answer is actually that I just don't know. I do not know whether I'm capable of going through the night. I have no way of knowing because I've never done it before. So this is the proper adventure. Might take my aero bars off and fashion another tent pole just to make it slightly bigger. Well, that's actually not bad when you're in here. Don't know which GCN presenter used this last, but it's got a certain hum to it.
And I'd probably advise stopping and topping up with enough food if you plan to ride through the night by about 7 o'clock. Because there's lots of shops, there's loads of supply, but quite a few of them are small village shops, and they kind of shut early, so don't get...
You have arrived.
Right, it's nearly game time. I think it was about 30-ish people have signed on. They all look remarkably normal, so I don't quite know how this has become superhuman and ride through the night, but we'll see. I'm going to go turn in for the night, get an early one, leave the campfire. It'll be very boring.
Right then, here we go. Ready to rock and roll. It's 4:54. This is the remains of Camp Richardson. And yeah, there's no hiding it. Just tried to have some breakfast. I feel really a bit nauseous. I think that's nerves, or it could be the fact that it's 5 to 5 and I don't really want to be up and awake. But it's a beautiful day. It's mild, and I'm about to ride 400 miles of brilliant terrain. So I've got to be excited at that. Okay, let's get going.
That first section in the dark down that bit of greasy single track down the Roman road, and there were just noises everywhere. I was just completely disoriented, and people sort of like slipping off because it was greasy and whatever else. Anyway, once we got out that and the sun came up, then it was great. Cambridge, here we go. This is mad. It just feels like I've gone abroad. This isn't the UK. This is like, my world shrunk so much that this now feels like the most exotic place I've been to in 18 months. Right, first stopping off point. No idea where I am, but this village shop has just sorted me out with some more water, which is cool. Felt a bit weird stopping and saying goodbye to my group, well, which was actually just me and a very nice chap who, I don't think I ever got his name actually. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. I need to crack on again. It's incredibly beautiful around here. I feel very lonely all of a sudden and a bit daunted again. It was so nice cruising along, meeting and chatting to a new group of people, and then here I am now on my Todd, having stopped early for some water. And I don't know, it's exciting. I might be a little bit lonely, but I feel so incredibly fortunate to be here. I know that sounds a bit knobby, but I do.
And I'm going to try and hold on to this moment for as long as possible and remember it at 4 in the morning. This is me conquering my fears, ladies and gentlemen. These are Britain's most dangerous animal. Rich is dancing on the pedals, and I am, well, I'm bricking it, quite frankly. One of them actually mooed at me in a very aggressive manner, and well, I don't take kindly to being mooed at, particularly when I can't do any full gas efforts and escape. But I think I might have got away with it this time. Freaking cows. Tempted to stop being a vegetarian. Roll again. Smash and grab number 2, 11s. I didn't mean to get that. Plus, that dodgy white powder, remember, is the end of it. That was a stupid bag to put in, wasn't it? We've not had an update for a little while. Been ticking the kilometres down. I haven't been looking at how far I've done or how far to go as per recommended, but fatigue's creeping in, if I'm totally honest. I'm really hungry. I've been eating and drinking, but definitely getting ready for some kind of lunch. In terms of an update on, dare I say it, the competitive aspect, turns out we got slightly bit of misleading info. There is one rider ahead of us. When I say us, that there is my main man Rich, who we've just been chatting away happily for the last goodness knows how many kilometres, and we're making an effective team right now. So struck up an alliance, and there's definitely a sense of security after I stopped earlier, and fortunately I managed to catch back up on a flat bit of road using my aero bars. Right then, I just smashed and grabbed, found some more gluten-free pita breads, which is fantastic because I lost my second pack somewhere before Cambridge at 5:30. But anyway, it's all good. I'd actually earmarked this spot. It's from a place called Harold's, 190k in. I'd earmarked it because there's a fish and chip shop over there for dinner, basically. And we got here at second lunchtime, which is flipping amazing. I'm absolutely delighted. As you can tell by my hurrying, I've got into the competitive spirit. So I'm now, oh God, it's awful. We've just had a really slow 20k, like in some kind of like maze of fields with like, oh God, we took a wrong turn, ended up in a ploughed field. It was bloody annoying. But anyway, game on. We're here now. And yeah, this is cool. Right. This is bloody great, this is. Our rapid average speed has plummeted as we're inching our way around a field. You know, I set off today and I was like, I'm gonna leave it in the big ring all day because it's flat. And I have been in my 31 little ring more often than I care to remember. But that said, there's a lot of fast stuff and it's been nice sticking it in the 48 and just rolling along. But yeah, right now, just trying to make progress. I'm gonna put the camera away now. update. Going through a real bad patch, if I'm totally honest. This is really tough. I think Rich is in the same kind of place. Still putting the same effort in, but just not going anywhere near as fast. The trails have been slow, the road slow, just it's a big old headwind. I just had some salt and vinegar crisps to try and reset my stomach a little bit, because I just didn't fancy eating anything else. Yeah. I'm pushing my bike up a hill. I mean, it's a very steep hill, but still, didn't expect that today.
It's kind of like I think of it like time trials in the old days, like hundreds of years ago, when they all used to wear alpaca, and it's all a bit. So it's a spirited group ride that's tracked with spot trackers, bringing a looser idea of what bike riding can be. I want to sort of like break away from categories like this is mountain biking, this is gravel riding, this is road racing. They're all bikes. Let's just ride bikes and enjoy riding bikes.
Look at that, feel the weight. I think it's about 4 kilos of chips, the large mushy peas. I'm so glad that last bit was fast, but I am kicking myself that I didn't get any liquid beforehand. What a noob, basically. What a noob. So, do you mind if I eat my chips? Give me a fried potato any day. You can see it's getting kind of dusky now, so my thoughts are very much dominated by what's about to come, nighttime. So I packed a lot more than everyone else. I packed a sleeping bag and a bivvy bag and a warm jacket, and so that was my saddle bag basically, and not that many other people had it. I didn't want to be that guy that was overconfident in my abilities and then came unstuck and didn't finish. I had to scratch at 4 AM with hypothermia and stuff. So that was why I thought it was a good idea to just give me the best possible chance of finishing. But I hadn't made up my mind about whether or not I was gonna bivvy out. I was quite interested to try and go for 24 hours. I just want to see what happens as much as anything. I don't want to tell myself I'm gonna stop. I want to see if I can do it. And then if I can't, I have a lovely sleeping bag to curl up in. And I tell you what, unless the scenery changes dramatically, this is it's campsite heaven around here. There's hedges, there's soft grass, it'll be amazing. You'll wake up to a breakfast of blackberries. Oh, not to mention cheese pitters. Oh yeah. What's up?
There you go.
And to begin with, it was great. It was a really warm evening. We were riding around Rutland, which is this kind of very gentle English county. It was all very safe. Oh, my word. I'm so discombobulated. But still moving. Yeah. Get some water. There's these like savage sections up on the dikes where it's really slow, bumpy grass. And that was the point at which, after the first one of those, I really felt like it had taken it out of me. And then I got tired, I started yawning and things. We caught Josh at that point, that perked me up a bit, gave me something to kind of, I don't know, it wasn't like I was actively chasing him, I just felt better when we caught him. And then we went through King's Lynn where there were a load of street lights, and that made me feel better. And then I think at that point though, I'd sort of made the decision in my head that I was going to sleep. Right, I don't suppose you can see anything, but hopefully you can hear me. It's currently 3 a.m. Got 460 kilometres on the clock. That's the sea. This is Hunstanton. Yes, we're riding through it at 4 in the morning. I'm out of my tree right now. I have covered 300 miles, which is ridiculous. Not ridiculous good, ridiculous, just ridiculous. I mean, why would you do that? Anyway, Josh is carrying on because he's going to do 400 miles. But I need to stop. I'm going to curl up in a sleeping bag for a little bit. Basically, I've let myself get cold. I haven't drunk enough. I haven't eaten enough. I just completely shut down. And I'm really sore. I'm cozy. My legs are literally like shaking, which I don't think is a good sign. Anyway, I'm going to have something to drink and then get my head down. Night night. Hello. It's 6 o'clock. And I really, really should get up. And I will. It's freaking cold. I cannot tell you how much better I feel than just 2.5 hours ago. The sun's up, I've got some power back in my legs, not much, but more, and this is just absolutely magical.
very interestingly about maths. I reckon if I'm going 5k an hour faster, then actually I can make that time back between now and the finish. The question is how much of a lift everyone else has got from the fact that the sun's come up, and in fact, can I sustain this pace? But it's weird, so weird. I might be feeling better, but I'm obviously completely ruined. There was a couple out, dot watchers, and they've got me going again. I was like, oh, hello, and I turned away and just started welling up. I don't know why. I think it's just a sign of being on the edge. But yeah, what a roller coaster. What a roller coaster. Cracked. I'm gonna have a cheese sandwich. I've just been riding down this. We've got that to go. And yeah, I just need to have a sit down. So I thought I'd make myself useful, make a cheese sandwich, take my hat off, that kind of jazz. So there we go. My God, this is brilliant. Right, I've got to go. Some YouTube gold there. So one of the lessons that I'd learnt from the previous day was if you think you need to stop and you see somewhere, but go, just stop, because you never know when the next one's coming. So I saw somewhere, I went, and then I need to stop. And I was like, no. So I stopped, and it was this little cafe, and so I had to fill up both my bottles, and then I thought, well, I'll buy a coffee, I'll treat myself to a coffee. I needed a treat. To start with actually, I just needed some water. Now when I went into the cafe, emotions is clearly still running high. Nearly had a little cry when ordering my special treat, which is a coffee, and an enormous bag of pick-me-ups, something many of crisps. Right, nearly done. And then the final thing is I remembered that I had packed headphones, so I never ever ride with music. Never. I've never done it. And but I was like, I think it could be good. So I packed headphones and made up a really rubbish playlist of songs that I would never normally listen to, but I figured might hit the spot. You've got to fly like an eagle. Oh yeah. Mama. Ooh. I see a little silhouette of a Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Love is brilliant, love is pure. This is how ruined I am. I got tears streaming down my face listening to James Blunt. Crikey, I don't think I'd ever better do this again. And I don't just mean listening to James Blunt. Hey, check this out. This is my crisp dispenser. I got a giant bag of salt and vinegar crisps down there.
Hey!
Cheers, Camille.
Pleasure.
And so it was that I did indeed manage to finish further east, all 398 miles of it, in a time of 33 hours, 13 minutes and 6 seconds, of which 27 hours, 52 minutes were spent moving. The rest was faffing, getting water, eating, and an hour and 45 minutes of it were spent sleeping under a hedge. Now, incredibly though, I didn't just actually manage to finish further east, I also finished third. The winner, Neil Phillips, tore around the course and won with a comfortable margin, and indeed finished in time for breakfast on Saturday morning. Josh Ibbott stayed well clear and took second place, and Rich Rothwell, the man that I had spent much of day one riding with, had a GPS malfunction almost literally within sight of the finish line and ended up doing a second lap, and so I snuck through for third place. I am as surprised as you are. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and also do make sure you check out the documentaries and adventure films we have on GCN Plus. If this is your bag, there is plenty more on there, from the likes of Jenny Graham, Lael Wilcox, Mark Beaumont, to name but 3. And also, please, I'd like to say thank you very much to Shimano for making this happen and making me go through with it, because, well, I am quite glad I did, and I never would have done were it not for their support.